Alrighty, I have such a present for you today, I can't even tell you. Today, we're speaking with Andrew Mellen. In fact, I'm going to have Andrew give you his website so you can see who we're talking to. You're going to be very impressed when you pull up his website and see his credentials and see his background. You're talking to a superstar here. And I asked him to come in and help us with this class. In fact, I gave Andrew a little background of what we're doing and what we're building today, and we are at that point where we need to figure out what to do with the teams, because a couple of teams are too big. We have a couple of teams wanting to know what do we do with people that aren't doing anything, and then we have some people that don't know what to do because the teams are so big. In fact, I want to thank the silver team for breaking off. They were the brave ones, because a smaller team is better. In fact, smaller teams around 4 to 5 people will probably be more successful than a team of 16 or 17, just because there's so many people to juggle that some people don't know what to do. So what I asked Andrew to talk to you about today is a little bit on how to unclutter teams. And you're going to see, I'm going to ask him a little bit about his background so we can tell you, or tell you, hello.
Hi, I'm sorry, I have a room reserved starting at 7.
Oh, you do? Okay, all right, for 2 minutes. Thank you. So, Andrew, can you tell our class what you do really quick?
I'm a professional organizer. I help people and businesses to get and stay organized.
We're going to be short because we're getting kicked out of our interviewing room right now. So I asked Andrew if he could help us look at teams a little bit more and what to do with them to figure out how, because after this, after we play this game, we're going to have a new game and we're going to have new teams, and your points are going to transfer over, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. But Andrew has a really good idea on how to think about teams. So will you tell the class about that?
Well, sure. What we were talking about earlier was in trying to figure out, when you think about unstuffing the teams, and I'll just tell you quickly, my website is www.andrewmellen, Mellen is spelled MELLEN.com. So you can find out more about me and how to unstuff your life there. We were talking about the large team components and people being confused, being stuck, which is analogous to, in my work, often people are stuck around clutter and being overwhelmed by what's in front of them and not understanding how to break it down and take it apart bit by bit. I mean, it happened bit by bit. So the dismantling of clutter also needs to happen bit by bit. One of the things that I do with all of the people I work with, whether it's in a corporation or in somebody's home, is to have them do a series of core value exercises, which you can download from my website. And I suggested to Dr. Luke that you all do them, because one of the ways that you can self-identify who your best teammates could be would be to find the people who share common values with you. Rather than trying to approach this exercise or this game from the outside and try to wrap your mind around the concept, when in fact the concept is naturally evolving and it's an idea that she's had, but you're all actually building the concept and making it three-dimensional when it was just two-dimensional in her imagination. So it's understandable that there aren't a lot of things to easily grab onto, that there isn't a lot of structure there. Which again is analogous to trying to get organized when you're dealing with a pile of papers or a pile of clutter and not really being able to find your way into it. So if you can go down to the actual foundation of it, where your values are, you can build your way up into the experience, into the game, into the experiment, by remembering what it is that's important to you. And so if, when you do the core value exercises, you discover that the 3 most important things to you are kindness and compassion and generosity, it will be easy to find other teammates who share those values in common with you, and then you start to approach the game from where is kindness in this process, or where can we bring some kindness forward when we're dealing with the general population and we're bringing whatever it is that we're bringing out into the community. How do we do it in the most compassionate way? How do we take this model, which has no intrinsic values to it at all, and bring our values to it to inform it. If there's another group of people that maybe have identified that winning is the most important thing to them, achievement and accolades and those kinds of things that are perhaps more outwardly driven than inwardly driven are their values, perhaps they'll self-identify as a group, and which doesn't mean that they're not going to necessarily be compassionate or kind, but it does mean that winning and figuring out the game is going to be the most important thing to them, and they'll self-identify and try to find other people that they can collaborate with, so that instead of being stuck in a place where you feel impotent and unable to find grounding for yourself, it's understandable. The game doesn't have a foundation yet. It just has a concept, and you're building that. So if you build it on what's important to you, you have that every moment of every day. You have it before you come to school, you have it while you're at school, and you have it when you return to your home. So it's not far to find, and it's easy to hold on to, and when you're in some place that is untethered, you can always return to that core value and say, I'm going to make my choices based on this, and that's how I'm going to find my way into this experience, because otherwise your passivity, non-action is not going to help you to navigate this or to experience something. You're going to be possible dragged to your teammates because you'll just be sitting in a stew of confusion. They'll get frustrated thinking, why aren't you engaged? We're not having the conversation about, well, I don't know what to be engaged in, I don't know what to do. So instead of, and which still is really just about communication dynamics, it doesn't actually, nothing's happened. Instead of getting lost in that kind of stuff, which still doesn't move you forward into the game, again, if you go back to what actually matters to you, you'll find your way into action much smoother, much cleaner, with greater integrity and authenticity, instead of getting lost in, I'm confused, it's a big mystery, and I'm just going to pretend that I'm going to do something because I don't know what else to do. Instead of living that sort of virtual experience, you actually get to live a real experience. So
I think that's absolutely perfect. That should help you a lot. We have to jump offline because the room that we're in, we're in Manhattan now. We're at the Midtown WeWork, and we didn't reserve our room long enough. So we're going to have to shut this short. I will update you a little bit further after this, but I think Andrew should help with your thoughts and your confusion right now. And please jump on his website. I will also post it in the classroom and look at what he does, because he does exactly what you need right now. So jump online. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.
bye-bye.